So, how did we go so wrong? Why is America now a post-industrial nation with an export profile similar to a 19th century third world colony? Let's take a look at how the institutionalization of cultural Marxism and the greed of multinational corporate fascists have caused we the people to undervalue the very Constitution upon which the American experiment depends. When the Cold War ended with the collapse of Marx's workers' paradise, the Soviet Union, the United States suddenly found itself the only superpower.
At the beginning of the 20th century, there were about 5 great empires: the British Empire, the French Empire, the German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Russian Empire. And you might add the Ottoman, and 2 great nations, Japan and the United States. And Japan became an empire. The end of the First World War saw the collapse of the Russian Empire, the German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and the rise of Hitler and Stalin and Mussolini and Lenin. And the Second World War brought the collapse of the British Empire and the French Empire and all the lesser empires, the Portuguese and the Dutch and the Belgian.
All reduced to dust because all dissipated their blood and treasure in perpetual wars.
Wars are the killers of empires. And the United States survived as the greatest country in the world for a single simple reason. We were the last great power to enter both world wars after most of the bloodshed had been done. American soldiers did not arrive in France in great numbers in the battles until the spring and summer of 1918, 6 months before the war ended. We went into Normandy 11 months before the end of a war, which was a 6-year war for the British. So the United States stayed out of the great wars until most of the bloodletting, or an awful lot of the bloodletting, was done. And we came in at the end, sort of like Fortinbras at the end of Hamlet.
Unfortunate for the members of the Frankfurt School, the original intent of the U.S. founders was clear and effective. Stay out of wars. Don't squander the Republic's blood and treasure. Make no permanent alliances. All traditional values.
War is tolerated. In fact, war is even applauded in many cases, because people are of the impression that it is to the benefit of their nation. People tolerate or applaud war if they think it's a defensive war. If they think that they're defending themselves against a dreaded enemy, you would certainly tolerate a war, you would applaud it. The object is to convince the people of all nations, including those that are doing the attacking, to convince the population that their war is really a war of defense. They have to create in the minds of their people an image of a terrible enemy out there. And the reason they're attacking the enemy is because if they don't, he's going to attack them first. So it's a question of who gets the first shot.